It's been a while for me since the last time I read a school manhwa where a lot of fighting and conflicts are found. I already feel nostalgic about the days when manhwa was still getting popular and this genre was the best I enjoyed at the time. So in the last few weeks, I've been feeling like reading this kind of stories again. I've come across some gems that I'd like to share with you guys. Few of them share the same universe too if you want to indulge more in that. So without any further ado, let's open the box. Number 10. Parts. The MC who was once famous for his strength among high schoolers is now bullied after he's become a cripple because of a traffic accident. Still, the MC is courageous even with his disability. One day, his body gets drawn into a museum where an part lightens up upon him and activates after recognizing the MC as a suitable candidate. Right away, the MC is faced with a threat from a monster that pops up from nowhere, but the MC takes a fatal blow and falls unconscious. The part, which has its own will, takes control of the MC's body and eliminates the threat. The part afterwards heals the MC's injuries, including the old permanent ones, and just like that, the MC becomes able to fight once again like before and even better. But after he gets his new powers, he also opens the doors of a world full of supernatural things and inhuman abilities. The story keeps getting better as we dig deeper in chapters and discover the supernatural world along the MC whose courage is commendable and is one of the things that might make you like this manhwa in addition to its beautiful art style. It lacks good side characters, but you might like the MC's adventure, so try it out. Number 9. The Villain. The MC of this story is someone who took over all the middle and high schools of Busan when he was only 14 years old, turning him into a legend to be feared by many. But one day, circumstances force him to move to Seoul. As soon as he gets there, he meets some thugs from his new-to-go school and says hi to them quickly. After that, his journey of making new friends, rivals, and enemies in this new region starts. The MC loves fighting, and it appears to be that he's found for himself the perfect environment to have fun. It's time for the legend of Busan to take over Seoul. The build-up in this story is pretty long, so you have to give it a decent number of chapters to really decide if it's for you or not. But it revolves mostly around only fighting, which could be a good or bad thing depending on your preference. The art isn't encouraging too, but the fight scenes are well drawn. The characters are your typical power-seeking individuals, so they might feel cliché. I would say read about 20 to 25 chapters and make up your mind. Number 8. Guard Pass. Living every day peacefully, playing games, hanging around with his not-yet girlfriend who's a jujutsu addict, and going to school like a normal kid. The MC doesn't care about his fat body or martial arts, even though his not-yet girlfriend keeps asking him to join her gym. One day, after he and his not-yet girlfriend get in trouble with some bullies, things escalate, and as a result, his not-yet girlfriend ends up being hospitalized after she gets traumatized and heavily injured. Planning on taking revenge on the bullies, the MC finds himself helpless when it comes to the actual fighting because of his bad physique and lack of skill in martial arts. That's why he decides to go to the gym his not-yet girlfriend goes to and lose weight while learning jujutsu to avenge her and never find himself powerless like he did that time. The artwork of this manhwa is pretty clean and neat. The MC is a Chad even though he's relatively weak, but he becomes a Giga Chad after his training. He still has the room for improvement, so it's nice to see him grow. The characters aren't generic, but not that special too. The plot isn't so complicated since revenge is the focal point, but each chapter keeps you interested in the next one. Try it out. Number 7. Quest Supremacy. The MC is an outsider, someone who doesn't belong, a loser that is bullied everywhere he goes. One day, he desperately shouts game in terms like quest window, hoping for something to happen like in those novels and webtoons where the MC has a system power that gives him rewards and makes him stronger. Unexpectedly, a transparent quest window really appears to him. He starts getting quests, and upon clearing them, he gains some cards that make him stronger and give him other rewards. Because of the system he gets, he grows to be more confident in himself over time, thus fighting back against the bullies and even creating his own crew to take over other schools. The plot is simple so far, but it might be interesting for some because of how the MC evolves using this system. On the other hand, others might find him annoyingly useless and stupid in early chapters. Well, actually maybe in later chapters too. The comedy is quite good, especially how the MC is consistently trolled by the system. The characters are interesting. There is a 40-year-old Yakuza-looking high schooler, a cold-blooded Chad, a sadist, a masochist, and more. The art is nicely done too, so the fights are more enjoyable to watch. Give it a try. Oh yeah, Kuze is the best. Number 6. Study Group. The story begins with the MC who struggles with studying, as he cannot improve his scores no matter how much effort and time he puts in studying. Even after getting a good tutor, he ends up getting in a high school that is famous only for its criminal talent, as there are many delinquents who compete and fight each other like animals do for territories. The MC tries his best to avoid troubles at all costs, but one day, the good tutor he cares for becomes a teacher in his crazy school and starts getting bullied. Just then, the MC, who acts like a nerd side character all the time, reveals his hidden talent. The nerd is actually a freaking Bruce Lee. He tries to create a study group that includes students who wish to get into university, and he would do everything to accomplish this purpose, even if it means getting into the troubles he evades. The art is amazing and there is some character development, and the plot itself is catchy. It's interesting seeing the MC strive in this school that is full with corrupt students and officials. You should really try this one out. Number 5. Weak Hero. In an environment where the strong prey on the weak, the MC, who has a small body and looks like a wimp, stands up against the bullies when they target him. Unexpectedly, he teaches the first bully a lesson by slapping the shit out of him that the bully starts crying and asking for help and forgiveness. Unfortunately, it has become unavoidable that he will become the target of other bullies and challengers. The MC is weak, physically that is. Mentally, he is unshakable. He is the kind of guy you would describe as a man of focus, commitment, and sheer will. Oh yeah, and he uses a pen as a weapon. And a book too, yeah. He is extremely cunning, calculative, and fierce. But sure, as he creates enemies for himself, he gets some friends that will later on share with him a legend to be told. The art is decent and the story evolves as we discover the past of the MC over time. The characters are not shallow and the fights are interesting. It's a nice read about a main character who uses big brain to fight and not only rely on his muscles. So try it out for yourself. Number 4. Second Life of a Gangster. After he lives a gangster life and does whatever evil acts a human being can do, the MC is finally punished by betrayal from his own men from his organization. Yet, even though that was the end of his soul, an angel appears to him to give him a second chance of repentance, to redo his life and correct his wrongdoings. Knowing that the different ending of this second life doesn't even save his damned soul, the MC decides to live like a proper human this time, starting from the day he joined the gang when he was only 18 years old. He cuts off his relationship with scumbags one after another, but bad habits die hard, since it's hard for him to just become another person totally overnight. Because of his attitude and the new path that he chooses to follow, he gets in trouble with lowlives and fights them here and there. It's really heartwarming keeping track on how he grows as a person and the new relationships he builds. The characters are fine, but it's weird how they blush randomly. Like, for example, why the hell is he blushing while getting his butt kicked? He looks like he's gonna shout, "Yamaita or something. Anyways, the art style is good on top of the interesting plot, even though it can be anticlimactic sometimes. You should give it a try. Number 3. How to Fight. YouTube. It's the YouTube of this manhwa where people seem to make money by streaming and making videos easily while the MC struggles through every second in each day to only survive and take care of his sick mother, while suffering the humiliation of being a plaything for the bullies in school. One day, when he was forced to lend his house to a classmate who wants to stream his gameplay, the MC accidentally ruins the stream for the classmate, resulting in them fighting over it. I'll tell ya, smacking that classmate's ass with kimchi was the best thing I've seen in a webtoon in a while. Well, the day after, the MC wakes up to learn that his weird food fight with that classmate got streamed and uploaded fully, reaching 10 million views from the whole world. The MC realizes that views translate to money and quickly do the math, only to be shocked by the amount of money he got from that one video. Ignoring the fact that making money from social media in real life doesn't work like this, the MC takes this opportunity and finally gets the chance to benefit from the ridicule and humiliation he suffers from every day. The art is really to my taste, as it is kinda realistic and comical at the same time. The characters feel alive and are the cause of the good comedy in this manhwa, while the plot is not something you see everywhere. Read it for the comedy and cool fights at the same time. Number 2. True Education. The story follows the school life where delinquents bully other students constantly, to the degree of causing students to commit suicide or at least consider it every single day. The teachers neglect their responsibilities because of their fear of losing their jobs and lives, and the officials encourage such behavior, even if it means covering up a tragic death of one of the students. In an environment that would make any sane person want to throw up, the MC, who is from a new agency created to protect teachers' rights, shows up, but this time not only to advise or lecture, but also to literally beat up the bullies if needed, and guide the indifferent instructors with the authority given to him by the government. The MC is a total badass that doesn't give a damn about anyone that gets in his way. He would crush everyone and everything that stops in his way of investigating a corrupt school and giving it true education. The satisfaction you gain from this Giga Chad MC going around and disciplining arrogant brats, while also helping troubled kids in various situations, is top-notch. The story is heavy in a sense, but that doesn't take away its sense of humor. And on top of that, the great artwork just fits the story perfectly. You really should try this one out, and you'll probably like it. Number 1. Mercenary Enrollment. After an airplane crash, the MC survives but loses his parents and memories at the age of 9, leading him to be trained as a mercenary and work as such for 10 years, till a fateful night when he is on a mission and encounters some people who later on help him return to his family, which now consists of only his little sister and grandfather. The heartwarming small family welcomes the MC wholeheartedly, and the MC appreciates that and intends to live peacefully after 10 hellish years. But he learns about how his sister has been bullied for a long time, and thus he proceeds to eliminate the threat like the pro he is, but more than that, like the brother and grandson he is. The MC would do crazy things and completely destroy his enemies no matter who they are, as long as he can protect his family, which he puts above all. And yet, all that he would say to those that question his identity is that he is just a normal high schooler. Well, the story doesn't remain that simple as new interesting characters are introduced. The plot gets just better and the fights don't end with just some high schoolers. The art is outstanding and it makes this story a top-notch manhwa. Wholesomeness and awesomeness are two things most of us love. Give it a try. Do it. Well, I hope you guys found something to read, and as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more videos like this one, so I can say my favorite word in the world. See you again when opening another box.